Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new, please consider subscribing. My name is Yari and I create educational videos for beauty professionals in training and for those who like to continue learning. Find me on all social media platforms as Glam and beyond. This video is for the Texas Esthetician State Board Practical. On the day of the examination, be sure to arrive 30 minutes prior to your scheduled appointment time. This will allow you for sign-in and identification verification. Remember that no conversing or any other form of communication with other candidates is allowed once you have entered the examination area. If you arrive late or do not appear to be in appropriate attire, you will not be admitted to the examination site and you will forfeit your examination fee. So be sure that you dress appropriately. I always say to consider wearing all black or scrubs, and of course, you must wear closed-toe shoes. What do you need to bring with you the day of the test? You must have a valid form of ID. Make sure that it is not expired. Also, be sure that your ID or driver's license match the name that they have for you on file. Do not take any other type of study material or extra things with you inside of the testing center. You guys, a day before your test, you should check your kit and make sure that you have everything you need inside. Once you have gone through registration, they will most likely take everyone into the testing stations and assign you to a working station. Listen for instructions and follow them. Do as they say. Be attentive and focus on your working station only. Do not focus on others working around you or next to you, as this may look as if you are cheating and can lead to loss of points. A quick disclaimer, I am not affiliated with PSI or TDLR in any way. This video is intended for review purpose only, and it is not a replacement from a licensed facility. Like I always say, do as you have been trained by your instructors. This video was created for my personal students and for anyone out there that has no guidance. Although far from perfect, I know this will help give many a visual idea of what to expect on the day of the test. Remember, every instructor or school has their own teaching techniques and what works for them, but everyone's goal remains the same, and that's for everyone taking the exam to be confident and pass. If you find the information helpful and you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. And you guys, with that being said, let's get started. I want to wish all of you guys the best of luck. Here we go. Before we begin, here's a quick view of what my box kit looks like. Remember that yours does not have to look exactly like mine. I choose to use a clear bin, and the size of this is a 27-quart clear bin with a lid. And something else I would like to point out is that make sure that your kit is properly labeled, okay? So make sure that your box, your kit has the word clean or pre-sanitized on the outside of your box or your duffel bag. Regardless of what you take with you, just be sure that it is labeled. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started now. Remember that once you go through registration, they will most likely take you into a room and assign you to a working station. Once you are there, remember to just simply follow instructions and do as they say. Now, if for whatever reason they ask you to take out your mannequin for it to be inspected, let's say, what you will do is you will go into your box, grab the mannequin, and set it on the table. Now, again, you're listening for instructions. They may or may not have you take out your mannequin. Remember that the day of the test, your box, your kit will be on the floor. For the purpose of the video, my box is sitting on a stool, just so that I'm able to get in and out much easier for you guys. So again, if they have you take out your mannequin, what you'll do is you'll go into your box, into your kit, close your box, and you'll simply lay your mannequin on the station. like so, okay? Have them do what they need to do, and then you will continue obviously with the test. So just be attentive, pay attention, and do as they say. So we're going to pretend as if they do not have us take out our mannequin. So I'm going to put this mannequin back in my box. We are now going to be starting with our first section. The first section is pre-examination setup and disinfection. Time allowed is 10 minutes. You may begin. Right when you hear you may begin, that's when we go right into our kit and grab our pre-exam bag and disinfection bag and begin the first part of the test, which is setting everything that we need for throughout the test. And again, at this point, you're setting the tone. So once you hear you may begin, you're going to go into your box and grab your first bag. Here we go. If you take a kit that has a lid like mine, make sure that you are keeping the lid on it. You do not need to latch, the handles each time. I just think that's way too noisy. And so just make sure that you are keeping the lid on your box. That means it is closed, it is covered, you are good. And so we're now ready for our pre-examination bag. You guys, just to help those of you that perhaps plan on creating your own kits, I will go over everything that's inside each bag so that you can follow along. Feel free to screenshot or take notes, write everything that you see that I have down so that it makes your kit making process a lot easier. So again, pre-examination setup and disinfection bag. Remember that yes, you are allowed to name and label each bag with each section name, okay? So once you are ready, what we're gonna do first is we're going to open our bag and sanitize our hands and wrist, okay? So we have our hand sanitizer. Next, if they ask you, is your trash bag labeled? You're going to say yes. All trash bags must be labeled trash. So you will say yes, they are, okay? Next, I want you to grab your trash bag and your tape, okay? So the focus here is for us to secure our bag and tape it. So my tip is if you're right-handed, tape it on your right-hand side. If you're left-handed, then tape on the left-hand side. So what I want you to do is open your bag fully. You're going to use your hip, okay, to hold the bag in place, which will then allow you to be able to have both hands available to grab tape. Make sure that you're grabbing enough tape so that this bag does not fall as we are going to be disposing of each bag in our trash bag. So here we go. Get yourself a long piece of tape, and I'm going to be taping it to my station horizontal, making sure that I'm grabbing enough bag and table coverage. Okay, if you need to do more than one piece of tape, do that, okay? Next, this tape is going to go back in my bag. Okay, next, you will go in and grab your paper towels. So I have a Ziploc bag with paper towels. And no, the paper towels do not need to be brown. You can take whatever paper towels you want. And we grab our disinfectant spray and we start disinfecting the workstation. Now, you're probably wondering, why didn't you disinfect and then tape your trash bag? You are able to disinfect and then tape the trash bag, but what happens half the time is you clean and disinfect your table so well that it leaves the table wet, and then at that point you guys have a hard time getting your trash bag and your tape to stick to the table because the table's wet. So for that reason, if you're wondering, for that reason I taped my bag first and now I'm disinfecting. Okay, so here we go. If there's a chair behind you, even if you don't use it, you are welcome to disinfect the chair as well. All right, so again, what's inside of our bag? We have our hand sanitizer. We have our EPA disinfectant. We have a Ziploc bag with paper towels. I have a first aid kit. This is for you, the esthetician, just in case you need it, okay? So hopefully no one needs it, but just in case, it's a first aid kit. That's what's in here, and all I have is gloves, band-aids, a couple of extra cotton rounds just in case I need them. And so yeah, this stays on my station, okay? And here's my main bag. I have my tape. I have the paper towel that I just used to disinfect the table. All of this is now going into my trash bag. I'm disposing of it. Anytime you throw something in your trash, you're going to sanitize your hands. All right, so remember that all of these items are going to stay on your station for the remainder of the test. Hand sanitizer, disinfectant, first aid kit, and paper towels, okay? Now you guys, let me just remind you that everyone sets up their kit differently, okay? I want you to be focused on what you have going on your station, your items, okay? And if you're one of my students watching this, you know that everything is prepped and ready and you have everything that you need. So you need to trust what you know and don't focus on those around you, okay? Because that's not gonna do you any good. So again, once you have everything set, ready to go, I want you to then sanitize your hands. And now we're going to go into our box and grab our mannequin. So here we go. Again, we're assuming they did not ask us to take out the mannequin before we started, okay? That's why I put the mannequin back. So here's my mannequin. What I'm gonna do is take out my mannequin head and my mannequin stand. This bag for now, I'm just gonna set it down. And if you're wondering, you know, do I have to use a stand? No, you do not have to use a stand. You can simply, you know, lay your mannequin flat, but I prefer my students to use a stand. I find that it works for us. It's much easier. The mannequin head doesn't move all over the place, and so it just works for us, okay? So again, this is a review for those that need a little bit of assistance, and if you're one of my students, you know what to do, okay? So again, here's my mannequin stand, and you guys, this guy here, you twist it and then you turn, okay? And you're adjusting to the height of your working table, okay? The middle of the stand, this little turning wheel, is going to tighten the mannequin's head, okay? So I'm adjusting this, and all I'm doing is I'm placing it here and I'm tightening at the bottom. Make sure that you secure this very well. You do not want your mannequin to fall off. Next, there's a little opening there. You're going to set that right in, and you can tighten the wheel. So see, now the mannequin does not move, okay? You tighten the circle at the bottom, okay? We can now dispose of this bag. We are sanitizing our hand one last time before we raise our hand that we are now done. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. The next section is cleansing service. Please perform a cleansing service. Time allowed is 14 minutes. You may begin. We're sanitizing our hands first before we go into our box. So sanitize hands. Go in your box. Remember that your bags are in order. No, you are not allowed to number your bags, but you can put them in order. So I am reaching for my cleansing service bag. Cleansing service bag. And most of these bags, you guys, are 1 gallon size bags, okay? Now remember, you guys, that this video is far from perfect, okay? This is a simple visual for those of you that are in need of a visual for the Texas Esthetician practical test, okay? So again, I hope that you're finding all of this information helpful. Cleansing service bag. Now I put 2 paper towels inside of each bag, okay? Now I have paper towels on my station, but those towels I use to disinfect at the beginning, and I'm gonna also use them at the very end. But throughout the test for each sections, I have the paper towels that I need to disinfect in between in my bag. So once you're ready, you're going to open your bag, reach for the first paper towel, and we're disinfecting first. I know we just cleaned, we just disinfected, but that's okay. That's what they want to see, and that's what we're going to do. This is now trash. Sanitize. I am now reaching for my second paper towel. I'm going to open it, put it in front of me, and then I want you to begin to take everything out of your main bag. So pay attention. This is what I have in my bag. I have my draping items, which is a towel, a headband, and a hair clip. I have my facial cleanser. I have my makeup removing product. And I have a Ziploc bag with 5 cotton rounds. 5 cotton rounds. So take those out. So 5 cotton rounds is all you need for this section, okay? Again, lay everything in front of you so you know what is it that you have to work with. Once you have everything set up, we are now ready to begin draping our mannequin. So here we go. It doesn't matter what you do first. You can do the headband first or the towel, whichever one is fine. I'm going for the headband. I want you to open your headband and push this as far as you could reach. That's going to prevent this headband from coming out, okay, and snapping away from the head. After all, this is a mannequin, okay? Adjust it and then bring it back so that you have enough space to work with on the forehead, okay? We got the headband nice and secure. Next, we're going to drape with our towel. I prefer my students to drape this way for the mannequin, for the state board. So bring your towel around the neck, and you're going to use that hair clip to hold it and secure the towel at the back, okay? At the back of the mannequin, on the back. Therefore, this towel does not slip off and the draping stays on throughout the test, okay? So that's that. I hope you guys can see and you're finding all of this helpful, okay? And by the way, if it helps you to put the products in the order that you're going to use them, then do so. Again, makeup remover, facial cleanser, 5 cotton rounds. That's all I have. And then I have all the bags that everything came in, okay? We're ready. We're going to start by removing the eye makeup first, followed by the lips. So here we go. First cotton round. Remember to close your jars, your containers each time. First cotton round, we're doing the first eye. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4 across, lower lashes. Boom, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 across, lower lashes. I typically do this 2 times. Watch me again. 1, 2, 3, 4 across, lower lashes. This is now trash. Sanitize. Second eye, same thing. Applying eye makeup remover. I'm folding my cotton round. I'm doing the other eye.
1, 2, 3, 4 across, lower lashes. 1, 2, 3, 4 across, lower lashes. Trash. Sanitize.
Next, we do the lips. Third cotton round. Apply product, fold. We're moving inward, okay? So we're doing 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we're not doing this, right? We're not just smearing the lipstick all over the face. So we're moving 1, 2, 1, 2 inward. This then becomes trash. You already know what to do. Sanitize. What's next? We're done with our makeup removing product. Now we have our facial cleanser. What they want to see is cleansing manipulations on the face. I tell my students this all the time, okay? And if you're watching me right now, don't overthink it. You are doing this as if you were working on a client. That's all this is different parts of a facial broken down into sections, okay? So what they want to see is cleansing manipulations and then they want you to remove the product. So don't overthink it. So I want you to pump some product to the back of your hand. I'm going to dot it on first. Grab whatever's left. Hands down. Perform cleansing manipulations. Here we go. Chin. Cheeks. Temples. Around the eyes. Forehead. Bridge of the nose. Sides of the nose. Above the upper lip. Come back and do it again. I want to remind you that of course they do not read you the steps. The minute they say you may begin, they expect you to know what to do. So don't take this test lightly, okay? You need to practice or memorize the steps. If you are a student that has done plenty of facials in school, you're going to do just fine, okay? Of course, everyone is nervous the day of the test. You will not be the only one that's nervous there. Everyone is nervous, okay? The fact that you're taking a test is nerve-wracking. You guys, I say do it 2 to 3 times around the face. Once you have come to a stop, I'm stopping here at the temples. If you feel the need to sanitize your hands, go for it. And then the last part is to remove the cleansing product, okay? I'm choosing to remove with cotton rounds. This makes the process a lot easier on the mannequin. So here we go, remove. Remember that everyone is trained different for this test, but we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to make sure that you guys pass, okay? So do as you have been trained by your instructor. Trash. Sanitize. That's it. Easy, right? Now it is cleanup time. So what does that mean? You're going to notice that moving forward, everything will be very repetitive, okay? So, but that's okay. It helps you remember. So once you are done, I threw everything away that I needed to throw away, sanitize my hands. It is now time to clean up. So what do? I grab my bottles and I put them back into the main bag, which was my cleansing service bag. I'm just simply throwing them in here. Okay, this paper towel I'm going to use to disinfect my station. And now I get to throw all of this away at the same time. And I'm sanitizing my hands one last time before I raise my hand. Then I am done. Students, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. Thank you. The next section is steaming service. Please perform a steaming service. Time allowed is 7 minutes. You may begin. Of course, remember to always sanitize your hands before we go into our box. And now we're grabbing our steaming service bag. So here we go. Reach in there and here's our bag. Again, steaming service. Now inside of the bag, I have 2 paper towels. Like I mentioned, it'll be very repetitive, so stay with me. Disinfect first, always. Trash. Sanitize. Second paper towel. Okay, you guys, so this one's super simple, okay? But again, you need to make sure that you know what to do. So steaming service. Inside of this bag, I have another bag with a towel that is damp. Okay, so it is wet. Here's my second bag. Open it. Here's my damp towel. Set it on your paper towel. These 2 can go in your trash. Sanitize. Next, we have our towel. Follow me. This is what they want to see during the steaming service section. Again, my towel is damp. I want you to open it. You're going to check the temperature on the inside of your wrist 3 to 4 times. Okay. You're then going to fold it and place it over your mannequin. Chin, eyes, across and across. Make sure that you're leaving the nostrils open, okay? And I'm doing pressure 1, pressure 2, 3, and 4. Because this is the steaming service. Now they give you 7 minutes, and as you see, there's nothing else on my station. So this is all this section consists of, is you steaming your client's face, right? So once you do your patting, feel free to then just kind of step back for about a minute. I know that's going to feel like a lifetime, but you want to allow the skin to actually steam, okay? So that's what we're doing. So we're just waiting, like I said, a couple seconds, a minute or two. And once you feel like you've left it on there enough time, what you're going to do is simply lift very gently off the face and dispose of your towel, okay? So we're throwing it into our trash, we're sanitizing our hands, and now we are disinfecting. Super easy, right? Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. Thank you. The next section is massage. Please perform massage service. Time allowed is 17 minutes. You may begin. Here is our massage service bag. So we have, of course, 2 paper towels. First one, disinfect. We have our massage product, and you can have, it could be a cream product or oil, but it is in a pump. So your massage product, and then a Ziploc bag with some cotton rounds. And all you need is 2 cotton rounds. 2 cotton rounds. Once you have everything ready to go, you can start. So for the massage section, remember that they are only asking for you to perform the 3 basic massages, okay? Which is effleurage, petrissage, and tapotement, okay? Remember, you guys, they do not read you the steps. They don't tell you exactly what to do. They just expect you to know what to do once they say you may begin. It is your responsibility to practice and prepare for this exam. And again, practice, practice, practice. So once you have everything ready, you will start. And yes, you do have to do the massages in order. No, you do not have to do any kind of talking but perform and do what you're supposed to do. So here we go. I'm pumping some of the massage product to the back of my hand. I'm going to start off by dotting it like I usually do. I'm going to then grab the rest of the product, hands down. I'm going up and across, up and across. After that, I'm going to spread my product. I haven't started massaging yet. I'm just simply spreading the product around the face. Once you have the product nicely spread, you can then continue with your first massage, which is again effleurage. Effleurage is a continuous stroking movement. I'm using my ring finger and my middle finger, and I'm going upwards, effleurage. I suggest that you do it at least 3 times throughout the face. They give you plenty of time to perform this section. Again, we're doing effleurage, effleurage, effleurage. The next massage is petrissage, petrissage, also known as kneading. Petrissage. It's like you're giving the skin a lift or a pinch, right? Petrissage. Petrissage. And the last massage manipulation that they want to see is called tapotement. 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 Slight tapping, also known as piano movement. Tapotement. To a stop or stopping right at the temples. You guys feel free to sanitize your hands. And remember that at any point throughout the test, you have these paper towels that are inside of the Ziploc bag on your station. You are welcome to go in here and grab paper towels as needed. If you feel the need to clean your hands with the paper towels, grab some. They are there for you to use just in case, okay? So I came to a stop. I sanitized my hands. Now it's time to remove any residue that may be on the skin, and what we're using is 2 cotton rounds. So let's remove. Here we go. Sanitize. You already knew that. Now cleanup time. So again, putting my bottle with my extra cotton rounds back inside of my bag. Paper towel to disinfect. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. Thank you. The next section is mask and moisturizing service. Time allowed is 17 minutes. You may begin. Here we go. Sanitizing our hands per usual, going in our box, grabbing our mask and moisturizing service bag, which looks like this. Remember, it has the name of the section that you are doing. So always pay attention and make sure that you're grabbing the correct bag and not a different bag by accident. Here we go. Now this section, you guys, has a few more things, a few more steps. It's not hard. You'll know what to do. So we have our paper towel. So what is inside of our bag? So inside of our bag, I have another bag, okay? This bag has a towel and it has sponges, okay? That's just what I like to include in the kit to make it a lot more simple and easy for my students to remove the product from the mannequin's face, okay? So that's just the way that I decide to pack the kit: a wet towel and wet sponges. So what you want to do is grab them and set it right on top next to you on the side. So you have your sponges and your towel. They're both wet. You have a moisturizer. You have toner. Okay. You have your jar. It says face mask. Okay, you have your mask. Now all of these bottles must be labeled, okay? And then I have a Ziploc bag, and inside of this bag I have 1 cotton round. This is for my toner. I have a wooden spatula for the retrieval of the mask, and I have a mask brush to apply to the mannequin's face. That's all that's inside. None of those items need to be labeled, okay? So this, you can set that down. And like I said, if it helps to put everything in the order that you're going to use it, the minute that you see it, I don't care how nervous you are, the minute you see it, because again, you're remaining calm, okay, and focus on your station only. Remember that if you're looking like you're just completely clueless, you're looking around, that's only gonna look like you're cheating. So stay focused, tunnel vision, pay attention, listen to instructions, and focus on what you already know how to do, okay? Just try to calm yourself down. So we have our mask, toner, moisturizer. I have my cotton round in front of my toner, and then I have my spatula and my brush right next to each other by the mask. Boom. Once we have all this ready, let's sanitize our hands for good luck, right? We go straight into mask application. So this is what you're going to do. Grab your mask jar, open it, set that down. You're going to grab your spatula. You're going to dispense a little bit of product to the back of your hand, like so. You're going to grab your lid to your jar and you're going to close it. Remember that they do take points off if you leave anything open. So let's close our jar because we don't need no points taken off. This spatula, wooden spatula, is now trash. Sanitize your hands like this here, okay? Then you go straight for application. Grab your mask brush from your hand to then the mannequin's face. What they want to see is an even application in that you're not being messy and sloppy. Now this is very easy for the raiders to be like, ah, okay, she applied it on the towel, it's on the headband. And yes, my mask is green. It doesn't have to be green, by the way. I get many of you guys that ask me that. This is just what I use. And so yeah, you use whatever works for you. So from your hand to the mannequin's face, I start on the chin. Here we go. Down the bridge of the nose, sides of the nose. Tiny strip above the upper lip. All right, this is now trash. The mask brush is now trash, so you can dispose of it. Sanitize. Now you guys, notice how there's product in the back of my hand, okay? Obviously, you don't want to keep it there, so you are welcome to go into your paper towels, okay? And I'm actually gonna grab some hand sanitizer, and look, don't overthink it, you guys. Just wipe the product right off the back of your hand if you happen to grab a little too much. This is now trash. Sanitize. See how easy that was? Don't overthink it. Right after you're done applying this mask, you do not need to let it sit for any extra amount of time. You simply go straight for removal. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to use my sponges first, then followed by a towel. So here we go. Have my sponges here. Try to grab as much of the product off with your sponges first, but if you don't, no worries. This becomes trash. Sanitize, because now you have a towel that you can finish removing whatever's left, okay? And since this towel is wet, it's damp, then we do what we usually do, right? We check the temperature, okay? And all I'm going to do for this section is create a mitten, okay? If you're one of my students, you know this. So at this point, I'm using the towel, which is wet, and I'm getting the leftover residue that is on the mannequin coming around. Pay attention to details. Make sure that you are checking that there's nothing left right under the nose. Usually I'm always able to tell how the students do by the way they bring me back the kit. And usually this is an area right under the nose, right above the upper lip, where sometimes I'm like, ah, you left mask behind. So pay attention to details. Make sure that you're removing all of the product off your mannequin. Once you feel like you've gotten everything, okay, you can even do this if you need to. Now we have this here is now trash. Sanitize, okay. What's next? Obviously toner, right? We always do thinnest to thickest, so toner, then followed by moisturizer. So give your cotton round a few sprays, and this will then also allow you to remove any residue that may be left on your mannequin's skin. Okay, so again, there should be no traces of that mask on the mannequin by the time you raise your hand. Everything should be completely off. Trash, sanitize, and lastly, moisturizer. Again, pump some in the back of your hand. Close your jars, your containers. You can dot it, grab whatever's left, hands down, spread it. And we stop. That's it. Cleanup time. You know what to do. We're putting all the bottles back into the bag. Make sure everything's closed. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. I say we keep the good vibes going. The next section is waxing with soft wax. Time allowed is 14 minutes. You may begin. Let's go in our box and grab our waxing service section bag. This is what the bag looks like. Okay, so let me go over what's inside of the bag. We have a jar that's labeled mock wax. This is Vaseline. Remember, we're just pretending this is mock. So it does say mock wax on the jar. We have our wax. We have a bottle with astringent. And we have another bottle with antiseptic. Okay. We have a Ziploc bag with the following items. We have 3 cotton rounds. 3 cotton rounds. We have 2 fabrics, waxing strip fabrics. We have 2 wooden spatulas, and we have, of course, a pair of gloves. Okay. So there's my setup, there's my lineup. So as soon as you see your gloves, put them on. And again, you guys, if you need to set up your items in the order that you're going to use them, then do so. So we're going to do the antiseptic here first, followed by our wax, and then the astringent last with our last cotton round, okay? So I don't know how it's showing on the screen, but I'm going from right to left, okay? So now that I have my gloves on, I'm ready to actually start performing the required sections for this part of the test. Waxing service using soft wax. I have my gloves on, so I'm ready to go. Remember that you only have to do one brow of your choice, okay? In this case, I'm going to be doing the right side, okay? So the right brow. I know the mannequin doesn't have brows, but you're just pretending where the brows would be, which will be right here, the brow bone. So here we go. First step is to clean the brow area, okay? First cotton round. Remember, there's 3 cotton rounds in that bag. And since I do not pack anything in the kit that you do not need, you need to use everything that you see that's in front of you. So I have my antiseptic bottle, cotton round. I'm going to be cleaning the brow area first. Close your bottle. So clean the brow area, the area that we are about to wax. This becomes trash. Sanitize. Next, you're going to dry the area. Second cotton round, dry the area. We never wax over wet skin, right? So we have to dry it. Dry, dry, dry. This is next. Trash. Great. We clean the brow area. We dry the brow area. We are now ready to test the temperature of the wax in the inside of our wrist. So I'm grabbing my mock wax. I'm opening my container jar. I'm grabbing a small bead. I'm closing my jar, setting that down. I am applying the wax in the direction of my hair growth, going downward. This is now trash. sanitize. First fabric wax strip over the wax that we're testing. And you're pulling in the opposite direction that you applied. Perfect temperature every time, right? It's not hot. This is now trash. Sanitize. Now we're ready to apply to the brow area. So here we go. Grab your jar, grab your second spatula, grab some pretend wax, close your jar. Now, what they want to see is that you're applying the wax in the direction of the hair growth and that you're pulling against it while holding the skin taut. So here we go. I'm applying in the direction of the hair growth. This is now trash. Sanitize. Second fabric over that wax you just applied. Hold the skin taut, and now you are removing in the opposite direction. Sanitize your hands since you just threw something in the trash. And lastly, we are applying our astringent with our third cotton round. Here's our astringent. Give it a few sprays. Perfect time to get the leftover residue from the brow area. Easy, simple, we're done. We used everything, we're good to go. It's cleanup time. We're disposing of all of that. I'm not done. Gloves. Do not raise your hand with your gloves still on. Sanitize your hands. And now we are all done. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. The next section is blood exposure. Please perform blood exposure. Time allowed is 12 minutes. You may begin. All right, everyone, so this is it. Once you get to blood exposure, just know you have literally like 1 foot out the door and you're almost at the finish line. And this section is extremely important. That look, hey, I even zoomed in a little bit so that you can get a closer look at my mannequin. But you guys, this is it. You're literally at the finish line. They are very, very particular on the blood exposure, so be sure that you are doing everything exactly the way that you're supposed to. So here we go, blood exposure. Sanitize our hands. Let's go into our box, and at this point there's no more bags left. You just grabbed the last bag that was in your kit, okay? And so here it is, blood exposure service bag. We're reaching in and we're grabbing our first paper towel. Hope you guys can see. Now let me explain what's in here. So in this specific bag, for those of you that are making your own kit, I have 3 paper towels, okay? 3 paper towels. We just used 2. This third one, I want you to set it to the side. You are going to use it, just not yet, okay? So third paper towel. Next, I have another little white box, okay? This is for the actual blood exposure and the things that we'll be needing. So we have our white box, we have gloves, and then we also have 2 bags. One labeled trash, and then a second bag that has my biohazard symbol, sign on it. This one will be inside already and ready to go for you the day of the test, okay? So double bags, and they're both labeled, okay? So set that down. Put on your gloves. Put on your gloves. Now, blood exposure, like I said, is a very important section. So let's make sure that we get all the possible points for this part of the test. And so in our little blood spill box, do you have to take a box that looks like this? The answer is no. You can just simply have the Band-Aid, the gauze, and the alcohol that you need, but I have a box, so that's just what I decide to use. So that's what I have in here, you guys. So I have a gauze, I have alcohol, and I have a Band-Aid. Only 3 things. There's nothing else in there, okay? This is now just closed and set to the side, okay? I'm just gonna set that to the side, move everything here. Again, you can prep and organize everything before you start. I'm going to grab my hand sanitizer and have it like within reach, closer to me, I guess you could say. Okay, once you have everything ready, you're going to start. Okay, remember that we are pretending, okay, as if our client is bleeding, it has a cut. So in this case, we're going to be using the center of the forehead of our mannequin to perform this blood exposure. Okay, I want you to follow me, and again, I have my double bags here next to me. I hope you guys can see everything, and I hope you're finding all of this information helpful, and if you are, let me know in the comments below. All right, you guys, so first things first, we're going to reach for our gauze. Okay, we're going to open it, set your wrapping to the side, grab your gauze, and you're going to apply pressure. We're applying pressure to the cut, okay? Apply pressure, apply pressure, apply pressure. That is the first thing that you do, is you apply pressure to the cut, okay? We are then going to grab our gauze, the wrapping, and we're going to dispose of everything inside of our double bags. Shove that in there. Close your baggie. Sanitize your hands. Next, I hope you're watching, paying attention. Alcohol pad, okay? Open it, set the wrapping down, grab your alcohol pad, and clean the cut. Clean the cut. Then we're using the center of the forehead of our mannequin. Grab your alcohol, the wrapping, and throw it inside of your double bags. Close your double bags. Sanitize your hands. And lastly, our Band-Aid. We're grabbing our Band-Aid. Okay. Set the wrapping down. Grab the 2 ends first, just like that. Go towards the forehead and release both sides, and I want you to hold it. We just wiped the area with alcohol, so I want to make sure that this Band-Aid does not roll off. So hold it for a few seconds. Grab all your wrapping paper and dispose inside of your double bags. Okay. Sanitize my hands. Next, I'm going to get rid of my little box. I'm going to put it inside of my double bags as well. Everything during this section goes in here. Everything goes in here, okay? You're gonna have like dreams of me saying that, but it's true. Push that in there, okay? Sanitize your hands. Remember that third paper towel that you set to the side at the beginning? Here it is right here. This is what you're now going to use to disinfect your workstation. And guess what? This too goes in here, okay? But you're not done just yet. Lastly, your gloves. Do not, you watching me, okay? If you're listening to me, do not raise your hand with these gloves still on. Take off your gloves, okay? They also go inside of the double bags, okay? Shove that in there. Close your Ziploc bags. Grab it. Remember this bag? Throw this in here. Boom. This is now trash. Sanitize your hands. And that is it. That is exactly what I want all of you watching this to do. Well, if you're my student, for sure you have to. Now, again, you guys, like, they're super particular about this section, make sure that you have practiced, you've gone over the steps, but that is it. That is it for the blood exposure. Once you've sanitized your hands, you will raise your hand that you are done. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. Thank you. The next section is end of examination disinfection. Time allowed is 10 minutes. You may begin. All right, you guys, so this is it. The minute you hear you may begin, it is now time for you to disinfect your station and put everything away because you're done, okay? So hooray, I'm sure you are so happy at this point and you're glad this test is over. So the minute they say you may begin, you're going to start off by sanitizing your hands. And remember, like your kit, your box, whatever you take your items in, it's going to be on the floor, okay? So, and look, my box is empty. There's nothing left inside of my kit. Everything that I need for this section is right in front of me, okay? So the minute they say you may begin, sanitize your hands, I want you to start off by taking the draping off the mannequin. So here we go. Headband off, set it down. Towel off, set that down. I want you to take the mannequin off the stand, just lift it off, set that down. Next, I want you to unhook your mannequin stand. Lefty-loosey, they say, so loosen up the mannequin stand once you get it to slide off. Then all of these items go inside of your box. This white box that we did not use, that's a good thing. This also goes in the box. Next, we have to disinfect. So remember, you're just disinfecting everything around you. At this point, just clean up, disinfect, and get out of there, okay? That's really what they want. Remember that if there was a chair, even if you didn't use it, you would disinfect the chair, everything around you, okay? I want you to untape your trash bag, okay? This is now trash, okay? I want you to grab your paper towels, your EPA disinfectant, throw that into your box. I think you guys can see this. This trash bag should fit in your kit, okay? Shove that in there. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to sanitize your hands one last time. You're now going to throw this in your box, okay? And latch the lid back on there and raise your hand that you are all done. Candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. Thank you. You guys, that's it. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you. I know taking this test is nerve-wracking for many of you guys, but trust me, like, again, trust what you know. This video is far from perfect, okay? This is just a visual to help many of you guys just review the information that you already know. And for those of you that perhaps have been out of school for a long time and maybe you never did go and get your license and you're trying to put yourself back into the industry and you're needing to take this test, I hope you find this information helpful and let me know in the comments if you do and if you used it. And you guys, that's pretty much it. I want you to try to relax, calm yourself down. Everything will be fine. All will be good. You will pass. Make sure that your kit has everything that you need. Don't throw any extra stuff in there that's going to throw you off, and just pack it well. Pack your kit and label everything that needs to be labeled, and always check the description box of all my videos for additional resources and information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, glamandbeyondinfo@gmail.com. But anyways, you guys, that is it.
To my amazing students and anyone else watching this video, as you watch this practical exam demo, I just want to take a moment to speak from the heart. It has truly been a pleasure and an honor to work with you. Being a small part of your journey into this beautiful industry has meant so much to me. Watching your growth, your passion, and your dedication has been incredibly inspiring. Remember, this is just the beginning. Stay confident, stay curious, and keep pushing forward. You've got what it takes to be great. Wishing you all nothing but success and fulfillment in everything you do. To those who support Glam and beyond, thank you. Your journey is uniquely yours. Trust the process. Grow through it. You guys, that's it for me. Again, if you found this helpful, share it with a friend, give it a thumbs up. Let's keep going, let's keep growing, and I'll see you on the next one.